Hello, my name is Maril Solis Paz. I'm a coach and astrologer, and today I want to talk about what the new astrological year is here to bring for you. Okay, there are a few configurations that I think are worth mentioning, and to astrologers, these are the biggies for this year. And I'm going to tell you also which are the signs that are going to be most affected by this or that are going to benefit, are going to be able to leverage this the most, and for what purpose. Okay, so let's get started. If you are into astrology, you already know that Pluto has been already in Aquarius for quite a bit. Now, this is going to become something of a big deal this year in particular, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But Pluto stepped into Aquarius in 2024 and is going to stay there until 2043, which is about 20 years. Okay. This has been a big change because we had Pluto in Capricorn, and you know that this has been a sort of Capricorn is the status quo. It's the patriarchy. It's the keeping things as they have been for many, many years. And Pluto shifting into Aquarius is we are breaking out of that. Okay. And this has also coincided. Remember that ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini, your main AIs, all came about end of 2022, middle of 2023, end of 2023, and by 2024, and remember, planets in signs step in, retrograde back into the previous sign, step back in, and then really step into that sign for good. And this is what Pluto has been doing, but as of 2024, it's really, really in Aquarius. And you can see now that the era of technology, AI, is in full swing. Okay. It's not like, oh, ChatGPT is something that people, who work in A, B, and C industries are going to be using. No, ChatGPT is you, me, your mom, your dad, and your grandpa. Okay. And so this is very Aquarian age, Pluto in Aquarius. Now, in comes the next generational planets, and we're talking Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are the ones, because they're the farthest out in the solar system, they're the ones we call the generational planets, and they're the ones that move the slowest. And so they are going to shift in sort of decades or 7 years or 13 years or so. And so they're the ones that really mark what's going on in the world. Okay. So you've got Pluto shifting out of Capricorn, stepping into Aquarius. Boom, AI era. Okay. Tech takes a huge leap. It's in a huge leap, major transformation in everybody's life. It's not just like in one sector, it's in everybody's life. Okay. This is your day to day and many other things with Pluto and Aquarius. Neptune in January of this year stepped into Aries. Okay. Neptune has been in Pisces, which is, energy that's just very spiritual, energy that's about the collective unconscious, energy that's about feelings. There's been a lot of talk, very like a Gabor Mate type of deal, going to your emotions, really get in touch with your feelings. So many people have been so out of touch with their feelings, especially maybe socialized the men not to feel, men don't cry, all that kind of stuff. That stuff is now part of the past. We have, in the past few years, have been diving deep into feeling. Feel your feelings. Don't repress anything. Don't suppress anything. Bring out the trauma. Let's look at it. Let's see it. Let's clean it up. Let's reframe it. All of that is work that was so worthy and so good. And if you've done it, then you know how to regulate your nervous system. You know how to manage your emotions. You know what you're doing in all those realms in the subconscious mind and the collective stuff that we have all been cleaning up together. Okay. Now Neptune steps into Aries as of January of this year. And Saturn stepped into Aries as well in February. And on the 20th, there was what we call the great conjunction between Uranus and Neptune at 0 degrees Aries, which set a total reset for us, which started the reset. Okay. And now that we're in the astrological new year with March 20th, starting with the equinox and starting Aries season, this period here has now taken us into what I'm calling the Great Reset. And the Great Reset started with the equinox, started Friday, started March 20th. We have so many planets in Aries, and that is the big push for a Great Reset. Okay. Come April, Uranus will step into Gemini. So we've got Pluto going from Capricorn, Earth sign, into Aquarius, air sign. Okay. We've got Neptune going from Pisces, a water sign, into Aries, a fire sign. Uranus going from Taurus, which it has been, and it's been like really wreaking havoc when it comes to what are we doing ecologically, what are the changes we need to make when it comes to finances, net worth, self-worth, all that stuff. And it's stepping out of that into Gemini, which, like Aquarius, okay, is also a technological sign. So you see that extra push, okay? If Aquarius is like, listen, we're ushering in the era of AI and robotics and all this stuff as part of everybody's everyday, day-to-day life. Gemini at a lower octave is social media, digital stuff, Zoom meetings, all this stuff. We have already stepped into that kind of stuff, but this over here colliding with this over here, okay? The Aquarian, AI, robotics, all that stuff, all the higher technology with the technology we already had for communication, such as the Zooms and before it was the Skypes, now it's the Zooms, the social media, all kinds of social media that we have. It's the era in which those two things are going to be like boom, okay? So you have a couple of options here, okay? There are people who are going to want to be like, well, I don't really want to do any of that. And I'm going to go all the way to the other side. And I just want to, ground my feet and I want to hug a tree and I want to just live in land without any of this. Totally valid. In fact, I think that I would probably be one of those people were I not an Aquarius and not work mostly remotely. Okay. So you can also be that person and understand how to maybe lower your technological footprint on the ecology side of things. We know from if you dive deep, and I think I remember the one of the founder of ChatGPT saying, please stop saying thank you to ChatGPT when you're writing prompts because that really wastes a lot of energy for us. And we're talking this, this is servers, this is energy, this is water, this is a lot of resources. So how do I lower my footprint there and really use some of these things responsibly? Okay. And also leverage them for whatever I'm doing and also be like, okay, well, I know that a lot of careers are going to go away. A lot of people are going on ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini to say, okay, draw up a legal agreement for me or do a um, be my therapist, which is not recommendable, but people are doing it. Okay. They're even going, hey, what's my astrological configuration? What do you do for this? I've done a ton of testing with ChatGPT on this, and it has failed many a times. So responsibly is the key word, okay? Responsibly leverage it the way that you want to, but understand that there aren't going to be a lot of substitutes for intuition, heart-centeredness, and the things that make us human, as well as excellence, okay? Who's doing the quality control in all of this? So you need to really, really understand that if you want to go this route, which great, responsibility, leverage, and understanding, discernment, as we say in yoga, right? Understanding that there's going to be some things that are not going to be true, that are not going to be accurate, that are not going to be precise, and you're going to really have to use your own intuition and your own discernment. So we have Pluto in Aquarius for the next 20 years. We have Neptune in Aries for the next 13 years or so. Uranus stepping into Gemini as of end of April of this year for the next 7 years. And we've got Saturn in Aries for the next 2 years. We have just gone. The axis of emphasis has shifted from the earth and water side of astrology, from the elements to fire and air elements. Okay. What does this shift feel like? And you may have already felt it. If you're very intuitive, you're feeling this change. This is grounding feelings, emotions, as I was saying, and we're stepping into mind, action, thought, action. I think it, I do it. I think it, I do it. There's not a lot of, let me stop to feel it. You're trained all of that in already in that. Okay. Let me stop to think if this is practical enough. You have already done all the thinking and the evaluating to see if things are practical, to tune in with your field, your emotions and stuff. Now, this is the year of achievement. This is the year where you get to take your dreams and make them come true. This is the year where you get to take that action, step every single day into action so that you can make your goals a reality. Okay? The signs that are going to be most activated for this are obviously going to be the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, and your air signs, which is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. The emphasis is going to be in taking the action without stepping into the aggression. So a lot of this Aries energy, which we are in right now, as it's Aries season, marked by the beginning of the year and the beginning of the season as of March 20th, and for the next 30 days, I'm doing this on March 22nd, so for the next 28 days, is going to be energy of action. Saturn is giving you the opportunity to give structure to that dream, to give scaffolding to that plan, for you to get done what you need to get done in order to bring about the outcome or the result or the reality that you really, really want to bring about. Do not step into wasting this energy into getting into arguments with other people, okay? Aries is the energy of action. It's Mars-led energy of action. You have the choice to either focus on doing your thing and really, really doing it, or if you're focusing on other people or afraid to do your thing, you're going to be focusing on maybe judgment of other people, and you're going to get really aggressive and you're going to troll and you're going to be like, who's this girl telling me about astrology and blah, 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 and whatever. And so that is what you don't want. That's what you want to avoid. There is that possibility to really step into that energy of wanting to get really feisty. Okay. That's very Aries energy. And we have that for the next 2 years, at least with Saturn. And then, we've got Neptune in there for the next 13 years. But really, the concentration, the big, big opportunity, okay, in which you can choose to really step into full action Jackson mode is, as of now, through the first quarter of 2027. Because Saturn is going to be really, really helping all of this Neptune in Aries, Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini, because those signs get along really, really well. In astrology, the air signs with the fire signs, they're like buddies, okay? And the earth signs with the water signs, they're buddies. So this era of earth and water, we've kind of like stepped over a little bit. We're kind of almost done with you the minute that Gemini steps into Uranus end of April. That sort of vibe for all of us is going to be a thing of the past. And the vibe we're stepping into is the fire and air. Okay. And that is, I think it, I do it. I think it, I do it. Watch your impulses. Okay. Make sure you don't skip the think it part, but make sure you don't stay in the thinking part and step into step into the acting and doing and performing and getting it done part. Okay. In the middle of July, I believe, is when two things are going to happen. One, Chiron, which is the wounded healer, which is your existential wound that you're carrying in, your big wound in your lifetime, and the medicine you find for it, and that then you share with the world. Okay, this is what Chiron stands for. Chiron has been in Aries. So if you are like me, about to turn 50, and you or maybe anywhere from 48 to like 52, you're about to step into your Chiron return, okay? Because Chiron takes about 50 years to do its thing. And so this is a very interesting time, because when you're in a Chiron return, and if you have Chiron in Aries, you're about that age, you're going to be feeling it really, really strongly. You step into your true mission on this planet. You step into bringing whatever wounds you had and you had healed, and now you can help other people with that. And so it's a very generous, very contribution-based stage of a person's life. Now, for everyone, even those who don't have this placement of Chiron, Everyone is going to be feeling the shift because Chiron will be shifting from Aries into Taurus. Okay. So interestingly enough, the people who have Chiron and Aries who have been feeling like, ah, I needed to heal the wound of who am I? What am I here for? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And asking that question are going to get a break. And the energy of Chiron is going to move into Earth, and it's going to move into the people who have Chiron and Taurus. Okay, and so even there, we're seeing a shift of, hey, the sort of existential crisis that you've been having for a very long time if you had Chiron and Aries is going to be like, pressure's off. You have some answers. You know who you are. You can step into the action, knowing, having the clarity of who you are and why you're here and what you're meant to do. Such a good year. Okay, such a good year for Aries, for Leo, for Sagittarius, for Aquarius, for Gemini, for Libra. These fire and air signs are going to feel extra, extra, extra empowered. Okay, not to say that the other ones aren't. Please remember that we all have all of the signs of the zodiac within us. The entire zodiac wheel is a part of us. So I would urge you to take a look at how all of these placements fall specifically in your chart. And of course, you can always email me to see if you want to do have a natal chart reading or a solar return reading, or just read your transits for the year to see what's happening with you and how all of these transits affect you in particular in your own chart, because all charts are completely different. They're all unique. Okay. And if you want to do that, you can email me at maril@marilcellispas.com, and you have all the information here below, of course. So take what you will and what is available to you. Okay. If you're an Aries, this is your year. Okay. Because the nodes are also shifting from right now, they're in Pisces and Virgo, and they're going to be shifting into Aquarius and Leo, North Node in Aquarius, South Node in Leo. This is also the year for Aquarius. So if you're an Aquarius, this is a huge year for you. If you've been feeling like, okay, so I'm feeling like I need to shift a lot of things, transform a lot of things. Now you're going to step into, okay, all of that which I have transformed, I'm stepping into my power with it. Aries gives you the power to take action. Okay, and Aries and Aquarius get along really well. And so all of this energy that you're feeling from the Saturn scaffolding and foundation and support to the Neptune, dream and in touch. And please remember what you dreamt the night before and interpret it during the day so that you can tap into that information. All of that is going to really, really push you into what you're meant to be doing in this lifetime. And there's nothing more delicious for an Aquarius than to understand what you're meant to be doing, because Aquarius is a very mission-based sign. If you're an Aquarius by sign, sun sign, moon, or ascendant, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Last thing I'm going to say really quickly is that if you're going to be gathering information in the Pluto in Aquarius era or era of Aquarius, please make sure you do it from a source that is not fear-based and that is higher consciousness based, okay? Higher consciousness as like David Hawkins' Power versus Force, meaning you're above the courage line and you're not in fear-based information, you're not in anger information, you're not in shame and guilt information, but you're stepping into courage and acceptance, love, joy, peace. Those are the people you want to listen to, because anybody who is giving you astrological information and they're giving you, psychics or anyone that is giving you information through them, they're a filter. They're a channel that this information is going to go through. And if those people have not worked through their stuff, if they didn't do the Neptune and Pisces work, or Saturn and Neptune both in Pisces work of healing their trauma, getting in touch with their feelings and their emotions, understanding how to process feelings, emotions, understanding how to really regulate their nervous system, how to work through subconscious beliefs and all this stuff, which is stuff that I do as a coach with my clients. If they don't have that, do not listen to them, because you will be listening to someone who is filtering information through a very low frequency, low consciousness filter. Okay. So even news and stuff, let's keep it productive. Let's keep it higher consciousness. Let's keep it where you're taking information so that you can do something with it. This is the year of doing. Aries is the sign of action. You have got to get from here into the real world and get your stuff done. This is the year you have from now until first quarter of 2027 no matter what sign you are, no matter who you are, to really get your, I always say, take your dreams, make them into goals, get your goals, make them into a plan, take a plan, and take one step of that plan every single day and do the thing that's going to get you to bring that dream into your reality. Okay. If you want to know how to do that and fully support it, I have coaching programs for that, coaching sessions. I've got, of course, all the astrological support for your, for you to look at your strengths, for you to understand yourself so much better. There is no self-accomplishment and self-fulfillment without really self-knowledge that comes from really understanding who you are. Okay. So all of that are tools that I help all my clients with. You can always reach out to me in my emails below and also any links that might be helpful for you. Okay. I will leave you with that information and I will tell you and remind you once again, please listen to higher consciousness information, higher frequency information, and people who are filters that are going to bring you more feelings of hope and love and joy and understanding, and that are going to bring a lot of illumination to you so that you can take whatever is going on cosmically and really use it to bring about the beautiful life that is meant for you. Okay? I'm sending you all the love until the next video.